Hey everyone, Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and in this video we're going over every LEGO Star Wars 2026 set rumors so far. There's a ton of them, and I wanted to bring it all together in one video because I've made a few different videos about them. If you guys do appreciate that, hit that like button, let me know your thoughts on these in the comments section below. And we're going to go in set number order here. I'll try to mention the release dates with each of these sets, or the tentative ones, but it's a little wishy-washy with some of them. We don't have anything like super confirmed. Starting with our first couple of sets, 75421 and 75423, we have Darth Vader's TIE Advance for $70 and Luke's X-Wing for $100 respectively. And these are, of course, rumored to be crazily overpriced. The Vader's TIE has 473 pieces. The X-Wing has 584 pieces. Like, those price per pieces are crazy, but LEGO is apparently going to include the smart brick that they introduced about a year ago with these sets, which is probably a very costly technology, but I also think it's a very interesting thing for them to bring into these play sets as play sets. Like, it could be a really cool play functionality, but also the sets are already seen as massively overpriced in a lot of cases, and I don't think adding like a brick that makes noise and making the price now $20 more on each of these sets or whatever it is than it would have been otherwise is going to go super well for them. Like, every time they've tried to introduce technology with LEGO Star Wars, it usually flops. So that's something to keep an eye out on. But the Darth Vader's TIE Advance, $70, 473 pieces, one that I am excited for because I wanted a new Darth Vader's TIE Fighter for quite a while here. I assume it will, of course, include a Darth Vader minifigure, exactly the same as the Darth Vaders that we have been seeing. And then it has the chance to have a couple of other figures here that would really spice things up. Like, I assume they're going to bring in some of the Death Star figures, because otherwise this set might just flop. Like, people might still want a Darth Vader's TIE Fighter and buy it anyway, but I think their strategy here will be to get people to buy it by bringing in figures that were previously in the $1,000 Death Star only, and so that will, of course, drive a lot of sales on an overpriced Darth Vader's TIE Fighter for $70 with a smart brick that a lot of collectors aren't going to want or care for. So I think that's kind of the strategy here. Smart brick for play, exclusive figures from the Death Star to get the people that want to buy that for cheaper, and like, you're going to get both there. And so I assume it will include like Darth Vader, Tarkin, and Yularen or something like that. Like, that would be, if I was LEGO, my ultimate money-making move. Like, that's how you do it. And that makes me wonder what they're going to do for Luke's X-Wing at $100. It'll be the most expensive X-Wing playset that we've ever had. And there is a sketch of this X-Wing going around, like, whether it's real or not, hard to tell, of course, but it comes from reputable sources, it seems. And the sketch looks horrendous. It does not do this X-Wing a lot of help here. And for $100, if it looks really close to that, that's really brutal. It's really a bad looking sketch. I assume it'll include Luke and R2, and then it makes you wonder what the strategy is going to be here. Like, I don't think there's a bunch of exclusive Rebellion figures from that $1,000 Death Star, so I wonder what minifigs they're going to put in there to get people to buy this set that wouldn't otherwise buy it, because they have to include good minifigs with these sets to get them to move at the prices that they're at. So I assume there will be some extra cool minifigs with these first couple of smart brick style sets, but that, of course, remains to be seen or even rumored at this point. Next, with 75436, we've got a very interesting one with the Mando and Grogu speeder bike. It's a $10 set with 58 pieces. For the past like decade, any $10 set has been like a Brickheads or Microfighter, so it's very cool to see LEGO making just a cheap random LEGO set for once again for Star Wars, but it's only 58 pieces. The last Mando speeder bike that we had like this was more pieces than that, so this is going to be a pretty small build for $10. It will, of course, include a Mando and Grogu, and it's just going to get parents to buy it for their kids. It's cheap, whatever. It'll feel overpriced, but it's only like $2, right? It's not like a $20 overpriced set. If it was 100 instead of 80, it's 10 instead of 8 type of deal. So the scaling works well for LEGO here, I think. And the minifigure is apparently the Mandalorian from the UCS Razor Crest that is still currently exclusive to that set. So a lot of people that wanted that figure that didn't want to spend the $500-600, what did that set, $600, on that set, they're going to go and buy this one too. So not only will this sell to just the hordes of parents and kids that want a cool little set with Mando and Grogu that don't really care which versions they're getting, like the collectors too, or the fans that are watching videos like this, are going to buy it up that didn't buy that UCS set. So very interesting set there. And then kind of to pair with that is the 75437 Cobb Vanth speeder. This one has seen a price increase from $30 to $35 with only 207 pieces. And if it's just the speeder bike build for $35, that's going to be crazy. I hope there's a little more scenery going on here. It is supposed to include Cobb Vanth with Boba Fett armor and the Cad Bane and maybe a third figure. I mean, I would be very surprised if they were releasing a $35 set like this with only 2 figures. It's not unheard of. They have done it. They can do it. They will do it. But I'm hoping not. I'm hoping we do get a little something more there at that $35 price tag from The Mandalorian. And I guess I forgot to mention the 2 smart brick sets should be coming out in March-ish, and then these sets I think are supposed to come out in January. Next up, we have 75438, the Yoda bus, 75439, the Darth Vader bus. They are $50 and $60 respectively. They should include both of their respective minifigures, just like the Marvel ones that we saw for 2024. I'm intrigued by these. I think they will look crazily overpriced, priced just like the Marvel ones. I've seen them on shelves in the store. They look ridiculous for the amount of money they're charging, but they still look like pretty dang cool, good builds, and I'm hoping that Star Wars translates well here. People have been asking for minifigs with helmet sets, for example, and so they're getting minifigs with these busts here. They're getting what they wanted, and we'll see if that translates to these being more popular than the helmet lineup. I think they are way too close together in style to live alongside one another. They'll just cannibalize each other's sales, so I think these ultimately are replacing that helmet lineup. I believe these should be a March release, but they also might be May. I'm just going to say the word spring if it's not a January release, so we'll go with spring for the two bust sets. But very interesting, a new subline for LEGO Star Wars. I wasn't sure what it would be next, but this makes sense given they already did it for Marvel. So next up, we've got a couple of MIDI scale sets. We've got the AT-AT, which is not a starship, which is nice because they named the MIDI scale lineup the Starship Collection, and so I'm wondering if they're going to create a new subline alongside the Starship Collection that's like the vehicle collection, and then start doing more vehicles like that, which would be cool. But the AT-AT, another one that has seen a price increase, originally rumored to be 60, now rumored to be 65. It's got 525 pieces, and I'm honestly just so stoked to be getting it alongside with the next one, the 75441 MIDI scale Venator. That's going to be an $80 set with 643 pieces. Given the price, I think the size should be about what we saw with the Super Star Destroyer, so I think that's pretty exciting as far as how big this build may be. But these two MIDI scale sets are probably the ones I'm most excited for out of all the 2026 rumors so far. Like, if I got to pick what the next two MIDI scale sets would have been, these are exactly the two I would have picked. So this is awesome to me. And I'm not sure if these MIDI scale sets will be January 1st or spring. I mean, they did release MIDI scale sets on January 1st of 2025, so I think I would lean towards January 1st. Next, we have 75443. It is a 4+ set, but it's very different than any of the other 4+ sets that we've had before, as it's apparently a buildable Grogu with 107 pieces for 20 bucks. Very good price per piece relative to a lot of other 4+ sets for LEGO Star Wars. It's also supposed to include some Grogu accessories. I guess we can assume it'll include a Grogu minifigure, but unlike all of the other buildable characters, I assume it will not include a collector's display plaque because it's a 4+ set. Although it would be pretty funny if it did, just as a gag, basically. But yeah, a 4+ buildable Grogu, definitely one that makes a lot of sense for them to release with the movie coming out. So yeah, not a big surprise in that one. Of course, we should be looking at a January release. The next four sets are 75444 through 75447, and they are $45, $75, $130, and $150 respectively. And I think these are supposed to be Mandalorian movie sets, releasing either in late April or probably May 1st, I would really think would be the best date. I think the movie comes out at some point in May, but I didn't double check that before filming this. So yeah, Mandalorian movie sets, if these are those, I would assume we're getting a Razor Crest in here, maybe at 130, an AT-AT possibly at 150, or you could flip those. And then the two smaller sets would also be Mandalorian movie sets, but they could be some scenery sets, or they could be other small little ship builds or something that we see in the movie. We just don't know yet. We don't have enough trailer info, in my opinion, to make really good educated guesses at what these could be. But given that they are unnamed, unlike the rest of our set rumors, I kind of assume they will be a Mandalorian movie themed sets. Now we've got a few more January releases here, starting with set 75448, probably the set I'm most disappointed in for 2026, a Shock Trooper mech. I literally do not care. Why are they doing this? Unless the helmet is better and they fixed it, I don't care about getting more Shock Troopers. I don't care about a Shock Trooper mech. Like a Commander Cody mech might have been cool, like maybe, but like a Shock Trooper mech, I just don't care. $15 for 151 pieces, and that price has to be wrong. But if it's not, it's really weird because then it's $1 less than the mechs usually are, or $3 less than the mechs are since they increased the prices. So very weird stuff there on the pricing, but again, that's rumored and it's probably going to end up at $16 or rather $18. That's what the most recent Darth Maul one was. So we'll see there though. But yeah, Shock Trooper, weird price. I don't even care about this one if it ends up being true. Next we have set 75449, the Siege of Mandalore Battle Pack. It recently got a price increase from $20 to $23, and it's going to be 116 pieces with, of course, 4 minifigures. We're going to have 2 332nd troopers. And again, I just don't care unless the helmets are better than they have been previously, like more 332nd troopers, who cares? But the star of the show, of course, is going to be the Maul Mandalorians, or the Mandalorian Super Commandos. These we have not seen, I believe, since 2013. And with how great LEGO's Mandalorian minifigures have been for the past few years, I am very excited to see what they do with these in particular. Like, they kill it with those Mandalorian minifigures, and I expect them to be just amazing here. So very hyped for those. And then build wise, we don't have any rumors yet. Like a Swamp Speeder is kind of out because the last 332nd Trooper included a Swamp Speeder. I assume an ATRT is out because we have an ATRT in the 327th Battle Pack that's out now. So I'm really curious what they're going to end up doing here. Maybe we'll get a Mandalorian Speeder Bike and then something for the Clone Troopers. That would maybe be ideal to have 2 little things in there, but we'll see. Definitely an interesting one as far as the build goes. And then finally, we've got the 75452 buildable BB-8. It's going to be $90 with 569 pieces. pieces. This one is going to be tiny in comparison to the version from 2017. Like, do not expect a lot here, but it should be in much better scale to the more recent buildable characters that we've been getting with like R2-D2, C-3PO. So I'm kind of excited for it from that perspective, but if you're going to compare it to the one from 2017, it's going to look horrendous, I think. Well, it might look a little better, but it's going to be so tiny that, yeah, it's going to be hard to look at and say that's worth $90. I assume this one's going to look ridiculous for the price, but BB-8 minifigure, display plaque, kind of assumptions we can make there. And then there is technically one more set that's rumored. It's set 30727. That's supposed to be the Star Wars polybag for 2026. And if it's not a Razor Crest polybag, what are they doing, right? Or maybe a Mando's N1 Starfighter polybag could make sense too. They've done a Naboo Starfighter polybag before, so it definitely could do that, just in all gray. I think given the Mandalorian movie's coming out and they're probably going to release a new Razor Crest here soon, it would make a lot of sense to have a polybag version of that Razor Crest. Usually, not always, but usually the polybags do line up with a larger set from the same year, and so if things line up the way that I think they will, a Razor Crest would make a ton of sense as a polybag for 2026. Those are all of the LEGO Star Wars 2026 set rumors that we have as of August 15th, 2025. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed, and you can check out more LEGO Star Wars content on the end screen now. See ya.